USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Charlamagne the God.
Guess what? Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump day.
You wanted to jump right into hump day, huh?
I did.
No peace to the planet enough for this morning.
I forgot all about it, man. It's Wednesday morning. It's early, you know?
Yeah.
Good morning. What's happening?
What's going on? Well, we got our guest co-host back, Willie
That's
D.
right.
He's back joining us this morning. Drop a bomb for Willie D.
Came in here yesterday stirring up all that trouble.
Yeah.
Pissed all the ladies off. Ladies want flowers, Willie D.
They want flowers.
The ladies want flowers, Willie D.
Man, I have to make amends for that. Listen to the ladies off.
The ladies say they want flowers on their first date, Willie
There
D.
you go. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You all right?
Good. Yeah. I feel like a veteran now. This is my second day on this.
You feel like a vet? So getting up early is not a problem for you?
No, that's a problem.
He said that's a problem.
I mean, as far as media though, Willie, you've been in the media thing for a while now. I mean, with the podcast and the YouTube channel, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Before that, I did a talk show on 97.9 The Box in Houston.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while.
See?
Okay.
Willie ain't new to this.
No, not at all.
Not even a little bit. Did y'all charge your crystals last night? It was a full moon.
No.
You ain't charge your crystals in the full moon last night?
I don't participate in stuff like that.
That moon was so beautiful last night. Mm-mm. It was still up when we came in the building.
Yeah, I seen it this morning.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I seen it this morning.
Yeah.
I actually went, I went fishing last night with my son. We ain't catch nothing though, but we went fishing last night.
What the hell y'all went fishing at?
There's a lake pretty close to where we live, and one of my neighbors actually live on a lake. So we went over there and we were fishing, and we ain't catch nothing though. We were just there. We ain't catch nothing. It might not even been no fish in that lake. I'm not a fisherman. I'm from New York. We don't do those type of things. I just tried.
Did anybody catch
he wanted
that?
to do it.
Did anybody catch that $1 billion lottery ticket?
I didn't catch that either. Did
Nobody
you
caught that?
No.
Oh, okay.
But going back to the fishing, though, man, I got a story.
Go.
First time me and my son went fishing, we were out there at this little lake for about maybe 5 hours, and man, we had the catch of the day. Very first time fishing.
Right.
We caught a turtle.
A turtle?
A turtle.
Yeah. That's
Did y'all eat it? Y'all made a turtle soup?
No, man, we threw it back. I started, back in the day, I would have kept it as a pet.
Yeah.
But we let it go.
I had a pet turtle back in the day. Same thing.
Did you eat it?
No, we caught it out in the wilderness in Mons Corner, South Carolina. And
What happened to
my dad made me put it back in where I got it from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to keep a turtle. Like, especially a turtle you catch in the wild.
They
It's
don't
one
eat
thing when
much.
you buy one from the store and you feed it turtle food, but
They don't eat much. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if
I
you
have
want
no
a pet-
idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
We do dogs and cats in New York. Right? We don't.
not dogs and cats and rats.
man, right, there's really no need to have a pet turtle, honestly, when you really think about it. Like, what's the point of having a pet turtle? Let that turtle go, man. Free that turtle.
Free that turtle.
I think any type of pet that you have should earn their keep. That's why I don't do little dogs. Little dogs serve no purpose to me.
Willie D sounds like my pops. My pops is the same way. My pops like everybody who lives in this house needs a job. If it's a little dog, that little dog ain't doing nothing. Get a big ass dog that's gonna be. My dad said the same ish.
I think little dogs are for comfort. People keep that like emotional support dogs.
Yeah, my daughter just got her one. Emotional support dog.
Yeah, that's what that is.
And at first I thought to myself, where did I go wrong?
You did nothing wrong with
But
it.
my daughter loves that dog, man. I mean, absolutely loves that dog.
Emotional support.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get the show cracking. Charles D. King will be joining us this morning.
Man.
He's the CEO of Macro Studios. Now, if you don't know what Macro is, they do a bunch of different things, but they fund a lot of black
Big
films.
black Hollywood business.
Like Fences, they funded. They
Clone
Tyrone and a host of others. He's a brother. He started out, he went to Howard Law. He started working from the mailroom, worked his way up, and we're going to talk to him about all that. I love to see brothers winning like that. So we'll talk to him a little bit, and then we got front page news next with Tesla and Figaro. Let's go. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Our guest co-host Willie D is here, and Tesla and Figaro, good morning.
Good morning, DJ Envy. Good morning to the big homie, Willie D. Good morning, Willie.
He can't hear you. We turned off this way. You can hear it now? He said good morning. She said good morning.
Good morning,
Hey, there.
Tess.
Okay. Now
Good morning, hon. What's up, Charlamagne?
Peace, Ted.
let's get right into it. Donald Trump. Let's go.
Yes, I didn't think I would be the first one to admit that I never thought this particular day would come. But former President Donald Trump was indicted on 4 felony counts that accuse him of working to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in the run-up to the violent riot by his supporters at the U.S. Capitol. Let's listen to U.S. Attorney General Garland, how he explains what happens, and let's also listen to Trump's response. Take a listen.
So immediately after the January 6th attack on our democracy, career men and women of the Justice Department engaged in what has become the largest investigation in our history. In November last, I appointed Jack Smith, a special counsel, to take on the ongoing investigation in order to underline the department's commitment to accountability and independence. Mr. Smith and his team of experienced, principled career agents and prosecutors have followed the facts and the law wherever they lead. Any questions about this matter will have to be answered by the filings made in the courtroom.
Former president's campaign swiftly responding to the indictment, saying they consider it an attempt by the Biden administration to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election. The state calling the 4 felony charges, quote, fake.
Hey, man, Donald Trump. Oh, go ahead, Ted.
I always wanted to just give you those charges right quick. Conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. So 4 felony charges.
Hey, man, Donald Trump got more criminal charges than Nick Cannon got kids, and Nick Cannon couldn't catch Trump if he tried. 78 criminal charges. Okay, Nick Cannon is never going to have that many kids. And look, nobody is above the law. You are innocent until proven guilty in this country, but there's consequences to your actions, and we've been watching Trump operate with impunity for a long time, and it seems like it's all caught up.
Yeah, yes. It's 78 charges, but it should be around 156 minimum, because he is a criminal. He's an international criminal, and he should have been locked up a long time ago, him and his constituents. That's right, I said it.
Well, it's happening now.
Well, let me ask you a question.
It's not easy, clearly, that we've never seen this before. A president, being indicted like this, a president having all these criminal charges. So this is something new. So I'm sure something new would take a little bit longer. But it's definitely happening now.
But he can still run for president, right? That's what they're saying.
He's still leading in the polls right now, and it's not even close.
So we have these conversations, and yes, he's being indicted, but he still could run for president, and there's no problem with him running, and he still can be the president, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then when he is president, he can drop his own charges, right? He could wipe his own charges away.
Well, I don't know about that. That'd probably be yet another charge if he were to do that. Let's just take step by step. But like Charlamagne said, yes, he's absolutely still running. And the polls, I don't know if this is more about Biden or more about Trump or this country, but they are still neck and neck in the general election. I did want to do just a quick for folks who may not be following all of the charges that you mentioned. Just quickly, there's still one pending investigation, the Georgia election interference, and then the 3 indictments that have happened is now the January 6th insurrection, the classified documents, and the hush money. And, again, I was one of the ones that was skeptical to see if this January 6th indictment would ever happen. And so it did. Here we are.
I do say, though, we definitely need more, qualifications and stipulations to run for president, because that's the problem I have, man. Think about any other business or any other industry. If you was facing all of this, if you had all of these criminal charges, you'd be suspended, you'd be fired, people wouldn't want to do business with you, they'd separate
right. I mean, you
themselves
can't even
from
get
you.
an apartment. Right. You can't even get an apartment in some cities, with a felony, a place to live over your head, let alone run for president of the United States.
And we know he hasn't been convicted yet, but even being innocent until proven guilty, so many industries would separate themselves from you if you was facing all of these criminal charges, yet he can still run for president.
That's right.
Like, God dang, we got to have some better stipulations and qualifications for running for president, man.
And be president, not just run, but actually be president of the United States.
Y'all don't want that.
The sad part about it is that this dude has been committing crimes from day one. Like, he is an international criminal, and I can't wait for the day that we make accountability great again. I can't wait for that day.
You feel like it's happening now? We gonna see, though.
No, it's not happening, because let's face it, man. This country is ran by a bunch of corrupt people. That's bottom line, all the way at the top, both sides. They are corrupt, they are dirty, and we need to have term limits. These people, it's people that are in office, holding office, that's telling us how to live our life, that's in control of our lives, and they're way dumber than us. and we sit back and we're letting it happen. These people should be all locked up. They should all be put in jail.
True indeed. What accountability is happening right now, Willie D. I mean, the guy got 78 criminal charges.
Charges.
4 indictments. I mean, that's a start. Start somewhere.
Let's get to the convictions, man, and let's get to the jail time.
They got to start somewhere.
I don't see them putting, and just like most people, most of us don't believe he'll ever do any time in prison.
I don't think so.
And that speaks volume about this.
I never thought this would happen. I never thought he would get just 78 criminal charges. I never thought he would get indicted. So
he's gonna be the first person indicted
to
be
elected.
president.
That too.
Well, thank you, Tez. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Let's get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Let's have a discussion again. 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Keep calling.
800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
This CJ.
CJ, what up? Get it off your chest.
I'm alright, bro. Representing that town, CJ James on the mic.
Talk to us. What's up?
But I want to comment again about, politics with Donald Trump, And the thing about politics is that they always been corrupt since day one. Every last one of them. Donald Trump, he ain't in politics, but you know what? The rooster's coming on the clouds. He don't care about none of that.
All right.
For real.
Hey, there's not a person alive on this planet who don't care about 78 criminal charges and 3 indictments.
But why do people keep saying Donald Trump is not a politician? The moment that he decided to run for office, he became a politician.
He's definitely a politician.
He is a politician.
Right. 100%.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, it's your boy DJ Easy. What's going on?
What up, Easy? What up? Get it off your chest, brother.
Yo, Evie, man, good morning. Charlamagne, good morning. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Peace, King.
Can you
How
hear
are
us?
you?
You said good morning.
Yo, listen, but real talk though, right? I'm actually for Trump beating these charges.
Wow.
I'm actually for Trump being elected president again.
Oh my God.
Because when you look at it, honestly, when you look at it, who do we got? We got Biden, 94 crack bill. He's been running through all of that. I mean, Trump been racist. Trump been doing all this and breaking all these laws, but he's always been putting money in the black community's pocket. When it came to these stimulus checks, we was living. We was eating good through COVID.
Man, you listen.
So, I mean, who we going to choose? I'd rather choose a thug over a troll.
You can have all the money in your pocket all you want, but you don't want to. What's the point of having money in a fascist society, sir?
I told you. Like people don't care.
He don't want. Father, forgive them for they know not what they do.
What he said just now is no different from what white folks said during slavery and even in post-slavery. It's like it boils down to money. If it helps me out and I'm making money for it, hey man, it doesn't matter if it's a crime. It doesn't matter if it's immoral. I'm gonna do it, and that's the problem with people in America, and that's the problem with living in a capitalistic society.
That's right.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
This is Jay.
What's up, brother? Get it off your chest.
Holler at OG Willie. I'm a subscriber of his. I'm glad that y'all got somebody on there that ain't gonna hold no punches.
What's up, King?
He said everybody at the top. It ain't just the left, it's the right and the left and the far right, far left. That's corrupt.
That's right.
And then they want us to. You know what I think? I think that one side goes and do so bad that they make you run and jump into the other people's arms. Other than taking time out and looking for people that's independent, like, what's his name? Nelson? Used to be a college professor. Got that phone.
Oh, Cornell West. Dr. Cornell West.
Yeah, nobody seems to talk about him, though. I advertise for him.
He coming on Breakfast Club soon.
I think in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, yep.
Cornell West is a great human being. The problem with our country is that we don't vote for the person who's best for the job. We vote for the person we think can win.
Right. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Anisha.
Hey, Anisha, good morning. Get it off your chest, mama.
Hey, I was just hearing you guys talk about Trump and everything. I think those charges that he has pending, I think he will walk from those. I think the politicians and everything just need a whole readjusting. Like he was saying, they are all corrupt. I feel so.
They all corrupt.
And he may actually.
They all corrupt, but he's not walking from 78 criminal charges and 3 indictments. Like they crossed a lot of T's and dotted a lot of I's to bring charges against a former president.
Well, what's the punishment going to be?
I mean, I hope so.
I don't know what the punishment going to be.
Punishment,
I really do.
I'm focused on the punishment.
But
lock this sucker up, man. I mean, put this sucker under the jailhouse. Throw away the keys, man. Throw away the keys. In fact, put him under the jailhouse, man, and put concrete on top of the jailhouse. Let's make sure that sucker never come out, man.
I don't see how he walks from these.
He got to go.
Hello, who's this?
This Tagoe, this MV, Charlamagne, Mr. Willie D.
What's up, King?
Just chilling, man. Listen, Mr. Willie D, it's an honor just to be here in your presence to hear you.
Thank you, man.
Listen, let me tell you something. A lot of people say gangster rap started with a lot of other rappers. I used to pull up that song Assassin y'all did way back in the 80s. Y'all my favorites, man.
Ghetto boy.
Appreciate it.
Yes. All right, listen. But here goes the thing with Trump. If y'all look at it, they playing chess, not checkers. They put DeSantis in a place. Trump gonna go where he gotta go, just to put DeSantis where they want to go. So they gotta play this strategically and just pay attention to it.
I don't think Republicans want DeSantis either, brother. I mean, one thing we know about Republicans, they're gonna fall in line regardless. But when you look at these poll numbers, it don't seem like they want DeSantis either. like I'm looking at something right now. It says if the election for the Republican presidential nominee were held today, this is in the New York Times, by the way, which candidate would you most likely vote for? Donald Trump, 54%. DeSantis has 17%. I don't think they want Ron like y'all think they want Ron.
Well, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up. When we come back, we got your rumor report. We got to discuss Lizzo. She's in the rumors. Some of her dancers are saying that
she fat shamed them.
Well, we'll talk about it when we come
hilarious,
back.
Yo, shut up. We have to acknowledge that is a hilarious headline.
And we'll talk about it when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Man, sit your ass down and act like we got a show to do.
Can I get my headphones?
Oh, you didn't have them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Willie D, with us. And let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Lizzo.
Rumor has it, rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the rumor report.
I mean, I guess we on The Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Right. Now, yesterday, 3 of Lizzo's former backup dancers accused the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Now, the 3 defendants.
What about the weight shaming? You missed out. Don't leave out the weight shaming.
I'm gonna get to all
that. That's the funniest part of the headline.
I'm gonna get to all.
We have to admit that's a hilarious headline. Before we discuss, we have to admit seeing that Lizzo possibly weight shame somebody is hilarious. Like those are the type of headlines that comedy shows are built around.
Right. Well, let's discuss. So 3 of the defendants, Lizzo's production company, and Charlene, which is the dance captain. Now, in 3 of the lawsuits, they say that 3 of Lizzo's backup dancers allege that at a club in Amsterdam, she pressured them to take turns touching a nude performer's breasts, even after the dancer said no. Invited dancers to catch dildos launched from the performers' vaginas and eat bananas protruding from the performer's vagina.
Now, if that story is true, do you really think it would be something as healthy as a banana in a strip club? Like no wings, no fries? Like you really think it's going to be something that's a good source of potassium?
Asked one of the security staff members to strip on stage. The dancers also alleged that Lizzo subjected them to an excruciating 12-hour audition rehearsal after accusing them of drinking before performances. Lizzo allegedly planned to fire and send them home if their performances wasn't good enough. Allegedly, dancers didn't use the bathroom out of fear of losing their job. One dancer, Crystal Williams, argued to Lizzo that they weren't drinking on the job. In response, Lizzo allegedly mocked her and then fired her 5 days later. Another dancer, Ariana Davis, recorded a rehearsal due to health concerns from an eye condition. In response, Lizzo allegedly called out her weight gain, berated her, and fired her. Davis was then forced to stay in a room while a security staff member searched her phone to make sure the footage was deleted. She is now suing Lizzo's production company for false imprisonment.
Well, what is the false imprisonment? I don't understand that part.
Because they said it made her stay in the hotel room while they deleted the footage.
Okay.
Now, the dancers also alleged that they experienced racist and fat-phobic discrimination at the hands of the company's tour members. When asking for downtown compensation at a rate of 50% of a weekly pay, they were told that they were disrespectful for being and only offered 25% by the accountant. In a lawsuit, they state only the dance cast comprised of full-figured women of color were even spoken on to this manner. Additionally, Lizzo's former performers claimed that their dance captain, Mrs. Charlene, was sexually inappropriate. According to the plaintiffs, Charlene described sexual fantasies, simulated oral sex, commented on the sex lives of other dancers, allegedly. The dancer's lawyer, Ron Zambrano, said in a statement, this stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seemed to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly, while privately she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are only illegal but absolutely demoralizing.
When I first heard that, I thought the story was going to be about her shaming skinny women. But she allegedly was shaming the big girls.
Yes.
Majority of this seems to be about her management, though, right? It feels like it from what you just read.
A little bit of everything. But, you know, it's like anything else with any other lawsuit. There's two sides to each story.
Absolutely.
And then anybody can claim whatever they want when it comes to a lawsuit. And then it's up to Lizzo to try to, have to fight it in court.
And you don't understand that if you've never been sued. Like, I don't know what's true and what's not true. And I'm not about to speculate, but I do know people sue. And just because people sue doesn't mean it's true.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean it isn't either.
That's right.
That's why they have a court system.
There's a lot been said here, though, man. There's a lot has been said. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because oftentimes, people will accuse you of something and there's, one or two things they say you did. This is a whole plethora of things.
But you got to prove it.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. And with a lawsuit, especially when you get an attorney's job is to try to put as many things, especially in the press, as possible to make people look bad. In this case, Lizzo hasn't said anything, and Lizzo probably, her attorney will probably tell her say nothing because wait for the court case. But like you said, all this stuff has to be proved. It can that stuff be proved in a court of law? That's what we have to wait for.
I'm interested to see how the people who do business with Lizzo react because they usually like to react and pull things, just based off, allegations. But Lizzo checks off a lot of boxes. All right, she's a woman. She's a black woman. She's a big woman.
Of weight.
You know what I mean? And she's always been an advocate for marginalized people.
Yes, absolutely.
So
and black people as well.
I'm interested to see how a lot of these corporations react because I would think that they wouldn't have a knee-jerk reaction and just start pulling stuff. I would think somebody like Lizzo would get the benefit of the doubt.
I would think.
Absolutely, I would think so too.
I don't know. They don't give men the benefit of the doubt when they get caught up in these Me Too type
they definitely
scandals.
don't. If that, oh man, come on. If she was a man, a black, she'd be out of here.
Yeah.
Three different women saying things like that. Oh, she'd be out of here already. They wouldn't give that human no grace. So that's why I said I'm interested to see how they react with Lizzo.
Yeah, because Lizzo is somebody that the world loved.
They still love her.
Well, love. Yeah, well, love. I mean, before this.
See how you do to people?
No, they love. You're right. They love Lizzo.
Lord have mercy.
I want to see how this plays out. But like I said, this is a lawsuit, and like a lawsuit, it's you got to see in the court of law. All right, and that is your rumor report. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. Teslin Figueroa will be joining us, and also next hour, Charles D. King will be joining us. He is the CEO of Macro Studios. That is the company that finances a lot of black films, directs a lot of black films, and makes sure they put a lot of black films to the forefront. Some of the films are Fences,
Sorry to Bother You,
Cloning Tyrone,
Judas and the Black Messiah. They cloned Tyrone. Yes, a lot of different things. Raising Dion on the Netflix. That was a TV show.
That's right. So we'll talk to him a little bit. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Are you someone who knows you don't have to sacrifice comfort for quality? Someone who lives large in life and in the bedroom? Then live large and now thinner with new Magnum Raw condoms. The thinnest Magnum condom. Available where condoms are sold. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Teslin Figueroa is back. What up, Tiz?
Absolutely. What's up, DJ Envy, the big homie Willie D, and Charlamagne the Guy?
What's up, Tiz?
Peace to the Hood Whisperer.
Now, let's talk about the lawyers for Malcolm X's family. What's going on in that situation?
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people have heard about the family of Malcolm X suing the government, but lawyers for the family of Malcolm X have unveiled new witness testimony that they say corroborates their claim that U.S. authorities were involved in his assassination. Let's take a listen.
Tuesday's press conference introduced Mustafa Hassan. Hassan says he was part of Malcolm X's security detail the night of the assassination, February 21st, 1965, at the Audubon Ballroom in Upper Manhattan. Reading from his signed affidavit,
I saw a man running down the aisle towards the exit where I had been posted with a gun in his hand. I would later see the same man outside as he was being beaten by Malcolm's followers, while a group of policemen who suddenly showed up on the scene asking, "Is he with us?" while at the same time holding back Malcolm's followers from beating him.
He says despite what he witnessed, he was never approached to give a statement or appear in court. He and Crump's legal team believe the shooter was one of several informants at the Audubon Ballroom to carry out the assassination.
Mr. Hassan said he is certain, no doubt in his mind, that Hagen was working on behalf of the NYPD or another government agency.
So what does that mean for the family? Like, what are they going to be able to sue or?
Absolutely. They are actually suing the FBI, CIA, and New York Police Department for $100 million, alleging that the law enforcement agency played a part in Malcolm X's execution in 1965. The daughter of Malcolm X said, "For years, our family has fought for the truth to come to light concerning his murder." The lawsuit also claims that officials withheld evidence in the original prosecution of the three men convicted of killing Malcolm X in an effort to conceal their roles in his death. And I'll just leave this with the quote that we know Malcolm X said, that said the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and make the guilty innocent.
Ben Crump was handling that case too?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Ben Crump. Boy, Ben Crump don't be playing. I saw Ben Crump do that, and I saw the Henrietta Lacks family. They settled their suit against Biotech. Like, they reached a settlement in that case because of the cells that were harvested without her consent.
These are a lot of the cases that they don't talk a lot about, Charlamagne. They like to focus on police brutality, but actually does more cases like this than anything at all. And again, who has sued the FBI, the CIA? Let me say that again for the people in the back. The FBI, the CIA, and the New York Police Department on behalf of Malcolm X. And yes, his family would be the one, receiving those benefits. But it's more than it's not just about money. It's putting on the record that one of our leaders were assassinated by the government. And just a FYI, in 2021, they overturned New York Supreme Court overturned two of the men's convictions because they said that they withheld evidence. So this is what makes this case stronger, because when you allowed folks out because, they were allegedly innocent. Now they're saying, hey, you said that they didn't kill Malcolm X, so who did? And now they're, trying to go after the government on the civil side.
That's the biggest point, Tez, is putting the government on blast, because everybody knows that the U.S. government played a role in Malcolm X's assassination. Everybody knows that. So it's cool that they putting them on blast, but we all know they're not going to see a penny of that money, because if they pay that lawsuit out, they're going to have to pay the rest of them out, because this government is responsible for killing a lot of our leaders, black and white and others.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it's my on my late night talk show, the God's Honest Truth, I did a whole second episode about the FBI, and I was asking why is J. Edgar Hoover's name still on the building when this man was responsible for so many of our black leaders, being assassinated. He was the ringleader.
He was
documented.
He was a horrible human being. His name should not be on any kind of buildings. His name should not be on street signs, airports, none of that stuff, because he don't deserve that. They absolutely need to be held accountable, but they won't be held accountable. It's like somebody suing me, and I have to write the check. You're going to sue me. You're coming to me to sue me, and you pleading your case to me. Hey, Willie, you messed over, man. I want to sue you. Will you take on my lawsuit? Yeah, come on in. Let me hear what you got to say. All right, you suing me for $100,000? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, man, I've decided that get out of here. That's what's going to happen. Like, you going to the government to ask the government for relief for your pain.
Right.
That they
caused.
that the government
I feel that,
caused.
but it's still it's still important, that it, like you said, Willie, that it goes on the record. Somebody got to sue something. Somebody got to put it on the record. And so since 1965, I don't see nobody else had no leaders, no attorneys, no Congress people, no Senate. Let's put this on the record, whether they pay or not. I mean, as you know, lawsuits are not always about getting paid or, the result, but it's really putting it on the record. So I do hear you. I feel you. But I don't want to gloss over the fact that somebody had the gall to put the FBI on blast. I think that's critically important.
I agree.
I absolutely agree with you because it takes a lot of courage. As we know, I mean, you can easily, end up taking a dirt nap, shaking up the government.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of courage. So salute to Ben Crump and everybody involved.
Salute to Ben. Ben has done some good work this week. Because not only is that on the record, the Henrietta Lacks case is on the record, and I know that family getting the settlement from biotech. Y'all can kiss my ass on that. They gonna get some money. They deserve it.
Well, that is front page news. Thank you, Tez.
Can I give a quick shout out quickly?
Sure, of course.
Okay, just since Willie D is here, I want to give a shout out to Willie D for helping me put together and organize an event in Houston, Texas today with a conversation with Michael, who is our brother, aka Killer Mike.
Shout out to
so
Mike.
Willie D helped me put together and organize an event with brother Derek Muhammad. I'm also doing an event this week with Dallas with the DOC. And basically what we're doing is, going to the barbershops and we're sitting down and we're talking about the record. And to me, this is what really symbolizes 50 years in hip hop, to talk about how hip hop has influenced politics and social justice. And as you guys know, because you've all heard the record, Killer Mike's new album, Michael, is a statement of this generation. And so we're going to sit through and go through the lyrics and chop it up and, really talk about what that album means. So thank you so much to my brother, Willie D.
Absolutely, Tez. You're doing some great work. And Killer Mike, salute. It's beautiful to see somebody like Killer Mike represent the culture because he is the culture. He's the definition of the culture.
All right. Now, when we come back, Charles D. King will be joining us. He's the CEO of Macro Studios. He's a brother that really started from the bottom. I mean, he went to Howard Law. He started at the mailroom, worked his way up, and now he's funding a lot of movies, and the majority of them black movies. So we'll talk to him when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Brooke, Scarlett, Roddy Ricch, and so many more. All right. Now you can hear it on iHeartRadio Hip Hop and R&B stations tonight at 7 p.m. local time, and also streaming on the iHeartRadio YouTube and Facebook channels. All right, so definitely check it out. Living Black, always amazing. Now let's get into our guest. He goes by the name of Charles D. King. He's the CEO of Macro Studios. Now, Macro Studios is a studio company that finances black films, directs, and helps so much of putting black films in the forefront. The brother started from Howard Law, started in the mailroom, and he's doing big things. Charles D. King, good morning.
Thanks for having me.
How you feeling?
Man, I'm excited to be here.
Now, where are you from, brother?
I grew up in Decatur, Georgia, man.
Decatur, Georgia.
Yeah.
And how did you get into funding movies and to doing things like that? Where did that come from? I don't think that's something a kid thinks about when they're a kid,
Man, it's a long journey, man.
Tell us.
I got the bug in college. My big break was here in New York City. I got an internship at summer '95 working at MTV. And it was really from that where I just learned about all these different aspects of the industry. And someone said, you know what? You'd make a really good lawyer, but you make a great agent. I had no idea what agents did, but then I looked it up and I was like, oh man, a lot of the heads of these studios, guys like David Geffen, Barry Diller, all these media moguls, they started out as agents. So that really kind of stuck in my head and became like my thought about my initial path. And really that's kind of what I did. When I graduated from law school, I moved out to LA. I landed in the William Morris mailroom, became an agent in 2.5 years.
You said in the mailroom?
Started in the mailroom.
So as an attorney, you started as a mailroom?
Yes, started in the mailroom. Yeah.
Do most attorneys start in the mailroom, or is it the fact that you were black?
You know what? No. I think the good thing is this is a training ground where people, whether you had an MBA, law degree, film school, everyone starts at the bottom of this. And it was one of those things where it's actually prestigious to actually get into the mailroom. So the fact that I landed in that mailroom 6 weeks after I moved to LA at the William Morris Agency, like the oldest entertainment institution in our business, it was like a big deal. And then to get promoted in 2.5 years, where, it was at a time where I was the first of many doing our thing in that space.
Charles is being very humble, man. He's the founder and CEO of Macro. Macro is a big, big deal as a film studio.
Thank you, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Could you tell people the whole complete picture of what macro is, what y'all do, even some of the things that y'all have put out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We launched the company 8.5 years ago, raised capital, brought in great partners, and we're operating in numerous areas. We've got we have our content studios, our film studio, our television studio. We have a representation vertical, and we also have a creative agency, all within the hub of macro. And some of the projects, we've had about 14 movies that we made and had out in the marketplace. We've had 15 Oscar nominations. So some of our projects have included, most recently, They Clone Tyrone, with Jamie Foxx, John Boyega, Teyana Parris.
Great PR plan, the whole Jamie clone thing. That was fake. Okay. That was just happened, man. It was crazy circumstances with everything, but I'm so blessed, and we're so happy that he's doing better, man. And but no, we've had other projects like Judas and the Black Messiah, but then also Sorry to Bother You was another one of our projects that we co-produced and financed. Mudbound was another one that was the first movie that we actually financed and produced. Fences, and I could go on, but Really Love. We've had television shows, like Raising Dion, which was like the #1 kids and family show on Netflix. So we've been involved with a lot of different things across all platforms. What makes Macro different than other film studios?
I would say what makes us different is we're very much artist advocates. The fact that we also have raised capital and we have a team of executives that are best in class throughout the industry, and we're very focused only on making sure that people of color are at the center of all of our projects. And we're also making sure that the production quality and the value of our content, regardless of the genre, is at the highest levels of execution, is the level of cinematic excellence regarding everything that we've done. So you take that through line of people of color, not only domestically and globally, artist excellence, artist advocacy, being empowered both financially and creatively, I think is really one of the reasons why our company has really been blazing a trail and used as a model for many others who are coming up through the industry.
Well, what's the difference between linking with Amazon and doing a multi-year deal like y'all have done, or raising $90 million to broaden the media ambitions? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, it's a combination.
Okay.
So the fact that we raised capital was to build out the team, build out our infrastructure. We have our own capital to develop projects like They Clone Tyrone, where we can incubate them internally. We can put them together, and then we go and figure out who is the right distribution partner for that project. So that's what with Judas and the Black Messiah, that's what we did, So with a project like They Clone Tyrone, we developed the project, we paid for the script, we had it ready, we had cast attack, and then we went to marketplace, and then everyone was bidding on it, and this one landed at Netflix, and Netflix was wildly excited about it, and they really rolled out. As you can see from the film, they didn't cut any corners, and they provided all the tools and resources behind this young filmmaker. And so we realized that in this case, that was going to be the best partner for it.
I was going to ask, when it comes to picking a project or greenlighting a project, what is it story? Is it working with a director? Because sometimes you might not see the vision that a director sees, because he might be a different art form. So how do y'all decide what y'all going to go with?
You know what, man? First off, we have a culture at the company where everyone's got a voice. Everyone from the youngest executive to the CEO. And I'd say first and foremost, passion and vision mean everything. So we want to make sure that every project that's on our slate, that there's someone at the company where they feel like this project has to get made. Like, if this movie doesn't get made, I've got to see this come into existence. Every one of these projects is almost like a miracle in and of themselves, and it takes a lot of hard work and a village to get behind them. So you got to have passion. The filmmaker and the artist at the center of it, they have to have vision. They have the uniqueness of perspective and point of view, and the way that they're telling the story and why they want to tell it. And so that's one of the key things we look for. We also look for people that are looking to do something differently, that are having a different perspective, not just making the same kind of run-of-the-mill content. I think we've seen a lot of things that are just kind of turned around, and you've seen it before. So that we want to make sure there's a freshness to it. So we have like 6 things we have on our macro rubric. We make sure that there's at least 4 out of those 6 things, but at the heart of it is passion.
I love the fact that y'all like black sci-fi, man. I'm sorry to bother you. They Clone Tyrone. I want to see more black people in sci-fi. I love that.
Hey, man, like I said, man, we know where we come from. We know who the Egyptians, and we also know where we're going to be in the future. And we also know how involved we've been with technology and so many inventions through history. And so it's important for us to make sure that we're making projects like that are sci-fi. We're going to also have projects that are action oriented, just like the more dramatically period piece, critically acclaimed projects we've been involved too. And as well, it's important for us to make sure that we're making projects across all genres.
What movie got away from you that you said, whether you passed on, you'd be like, damn, I shouldn't have passed it, or you just couldn't grab?
Oh, man. There is one.
There's something that's still on your mind. There's something on your mind.
There's one, man. There was a big one. One of our projects was with Roman J. Israel with Sony with Denzel Washington. We did that. We were executive producers and co-financiers of that after we had amazing success with Denzel on Fences.
Right.
And Roman J. Israel, I didn't do as well as we'd all hoped for at Sony, but we also had a great relationship with the studio, and we were trying to find other things to do. They brought us Spider-Verse and said, "Hey, man, the Spider-Verse is dope."
Come on,
our friends, and we said we would love, we loved it. We didn't have enough capital, and so we couldn't come on as co-financiers. And that's one I'm like that. This still to this day, especially when the latest Spider-Verse came out, and it was so amazing. I remember being at the premiere with my sons. It was 16 and 14. That would have been amazing. But I'm like, obviously, man, it's an incredible film. So that's one that got away from us. Hopefully there won't be other.
All right, when we come back, we got more with Charles D. King, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Charles D. King. He's the CEO of Macro Studios. He's a brother that backs, directs, and finances a lot of black movies out there. Charlamagne?
What's more important, and I don't want to say what's more important, but ownership or capital? You can have ownership, but if you don't, like in your case, if you don't have the capital to invest in something like a Spider-Verse,
I think capital helps lead you to ownership. There are some people that are so uniquely positioned, they can also leverage who they are and their skills to get ownership at times if they've got, depending upon the situation.
I do it all the time.
Even when they don't have capital, because they've got sweat equity, and maybe they take less money up front, but then they say, "But hey, I want to own it." And I've seen those types of deals and been involved in deals like that during my time as an agent, and we've seen that even since. So I think ownership absolutely matters the most. Having capital and access to capital helps you leverage into ownership.
Do you only want to do black productions?
With so many of our projects at the center of them and our core to have been black production, but we also, when we lost the company, we said it was important to make sure that we were going to be making content for POC community globally and domestically. And so we have been making productions that have been involved the Latinx community, the AAPI community. We have projects we're looking at for the indigenous community. And I'll take Hentify was our second television show. It was a kind of multi-generational family, half-hour comedy that we did as a digital series originally. Partnered with America Ferrera, did it as a digital series, and then it turned into a half-hour show that did 2 seasons on Netflix, and we're really proud of that. Or a movie like Tiger Tail that we made for Netflix that Alan Yang directed. It made his directorial debut. It was a beautiful story about his family, kind of based on his family moving from Taiwan to the United States. There's a film called Blue Bayou that we made that also, Justin Chong, that really talked about immigration reform that he co-stars in with Alicia Vikander. So we're absolutely, the culture is always going to be at the core, but we're making sure that people of color whose stories haven't been told across the board are also being told, and we partner with great producers and creators to make sure we can do that as well.
I wanted to ask you too, what does Macro do right now during a writer's strike and a actor strike? Like, what is Macro doing? Unscripted content, documentary, like what do you?
Yeah, we have, I'd say first off, what I think about is when people are going through periods of chaos and there's a lot of change and upheaval, I look for the opportunity within that. And so when I look for the opportunity, I'm looking to provide opportunities not only for our company, but unlocking and creating value for others as well. And so I'm spending a lot of time thinking about new models, new business lines, as well as obviously, building bridges with the international community and figuring out international productions. There's IP across every platform imaginable that we're thinking about, from video games to manga, comic books, graphic novels. But of course, we're getting active in the scripted space and the documentary space. Most recently, we were very fortunate to be one of the executive producers on Dear Mama, which the brilliant director Alan Hughes directed. You know,
legendary.
He's visionary. He's the man, and obviously they just had, he was blessed with 2 Emmy nominations for that. We have a few other documentaries that are in production that I can't speak to yet because we haven't announced them, but we're very active there. We're investing quite heavily in the space. And we're also, like I said, looking at the areas that we're currently operating in, how we're going to go further into them, but then what are other complementary lines of business for us as we scale the company. So if anything, I'm actually busier than ever.
It's got to be tough for you though, right? Because you're like I said, the founder and CEO of an actual film studio. So you're kind of on the suit side, but then you also are for the creatives as well, the actors and the writers. So who do you think's being unfair in this situation?
Well, we're not in the AMPTP, which is, those are the streamers, the streaming platforms, and the major studios. We're an independent studio, so we're not part of that organization. And like I said, when you asked me earlier what's different from Macro and other studios, we actually share an upside with the artists that we're working with. We want to make sure that we're providing value not just for ourselves, but also the artists that we work with. And so that it's a win-win opportunity. So, of course, I'm leaning on the side of being an artist advocate and wanting to make sure that the artists in our community can support themselves and can live. And so I understand the financial pressures and the change of what's happened in the business models as there's a tremendous amount of investment made to build up subscriber growth on all the streaming platforms. And, there was a market correction that took place last year, and there was, shareholder value that was lost. So that, yes, the large corporations are under tremendous pressure, but at the same time, when you've got showrunners of prominent television shows and actors that are extremely recognizable who have to drive Uber in between projects, clearly there's got to be a balance here, and something needs to change. And so I think that what we're going to see through all of this is there's obviously, it's a very tough time in the industry, but change was needed, and you have to go through periods of like the one we're going through right now to get on the other side of it. While we're all feeling pain from it, but I do think it's going to make the industry better in the long term.
I think it's too many screamers, and I think too many of these screamers are not being transparent about what they're actually doing, like numbers wise.
Yeah,
and I think they care more about Wall Street and what those stock evaluations look like than actual profit.
Well, I could tell you there's definitely a lot with around data and analytics. We've been fortunate enough with our projects with, Netflix in particular. They'll share information, they'll verbally share, 10 days in, 28 days in, how well the content is performing, where it's, being streamed, and the numbers of hours that are being spent. And it's really eye-opening when we've gotten that information, because these notions of certain content, certain content with us doesn't travel, doesn't perform. It's not true. Raising Dion was the #1 kids and family show globally about an 8-year-old kid with a black kid with superpowers being raised by his mom, black woman. And so what I hope for is that there'll be more transparency going forward with sharing of data and analytics. And perhaps there's going to be some tie for independent studios who provide content for platforms and the artists that are making content that's performing well on these platforms, where there's going to be some upside for people when these projects do perform. Right now, what's happening is everyone's paid on the front end, and you're really bought out on the back end. And back in the day, you used to have syndication, or with box office, you had the theatrical box office results to go by. And so there needs to be something that's going to shift to be able to, for when projects are actually hits and when they're successful.
How does that work for somebody like y'all? Because y'all do co-pros, right? So
we do co-pros.
Yeah. So when you come in and you've already funded half of the project, do they give y'all?
Yeah, we get the statements. We get the statement. Okay. We'll share alongside, but it also sits behind any of the marketing expenses and the distribution expenses as well.
So you never really know.
There's a certain amount of transparency. I mean, there's always people can audit, and we haven't had to do that yet. But look, each project for us is different. There's some projects that the studio to deliver the project for a platform. Some of them we make independent and it's licensed by a platform. Some we're co-financing with a traditional studio. So it really depends on what the business model is. But the long term is really at the end of the day, we figure out what is the best scenario for each project. What is the best scenario for us to maintain and build long-term library and asset value, but also what is the best way for this project creatively as well. We weigh all of those when we make our decisions about, how we're going to go about our project.
All right, when we come back, we got more with Charles D. King, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Charles D. King. He's the CEO of Macro Studios. He's a brother that backs, directs, and finances a lot of black movies out there. Charlamagne?
What is a Charles King dream project for Macro? What's that one you want?
Well, first and foremost, one dream project is Daquan and Tyrell being out in the marketplace right now because, to be honest with you, man, we're so excited with how the culture has leaned in on this film. The freshness of the story. You got a first-time filmmaker.
I watched it 3 times. I don't want to talk to anybody who hasn't watched it at least twice. If you haven't watched it at least twice, I don't want to have a conversation.
Man, it's hard to pick up everything, man. I've seen it. I've read every draft of the script. I was there every day through production, and I've seen every cut of the film, and I still pick up gems each time I watch it. And Joel Taylor's a brilliant filmmaker, and I'm just really passionate and excited to see how the marketplace has responded, and that people really, really saw the fresh voice, but then the smart, subversive things we're saying. So that's one passion project. And another thing I would say, I love movies that show us as kings and queens. I'd love for us to see a film where you see us as warriors, like The Woman King.
Classic.
Right? Like that was badass. We need to see more movies like that. So I'm thinking, what's going to be our Gladiator? What's going to be our Braveheart? And so absolutely 1,000% one of my passion projects will be making a movie of that scope and magnitude on that level. And we have a few we're developing, but definitely something along those lines.
What did the clones represent? What was the metaphor for the clones to you?
I'd say it's got a lot for you to think about what's happening in our communities, and we know what's historically happened. Joel's from Tuskegee, Alabama. So you know about the Tuskegee experiments, and there's so much that's happened in history, and there's so much that continues to happen about what gets pumped into our communities. You walk in any community, you know what you see when you work in certain communities, and I think that there are a lot of real life metaphors and examples that are in our film Daquan and Tyrone to get people to think and ponder, watch it 2 or 3 times, have real dialogue for us. And then you also see what happens when the community clicks up and they come together.
Yeah, for me, it represented the never-ending cycle of generational trauma that can exist, and how every generation there is the characters in that film, right? Like the people that represent, like the drug dealer, the pimp, the I don't want to say the whore, but But also, to your point, when we come together, we can break those generational
absolutely
traumas.
But what you're saying about that generational trauma, man, it's real, man. And the trauma, but then how even through the trauma, the strength that we still have, and the heart that we still have as people. So I think about that time we were in production. One of the most powerful days on set was I can't give it away here on the show for those who haven't seen it. But it's the one scene where you got a man who's knocking on the door talking to his mom, and he really needed to talk to his mom. And the thing that really happened in that scene later on, that the emotion on set that day of just like, this brother who's supposed to be the stereotypical drug dealer who just needed his mom, really needed his mama, and it just says something about our communities and how our mothers are there for us. But then what happens when people aren't there for them? But then when he steps outside and that conversation that happened with Junebug, the lightness around it, and how it reminded him of his brother. So there were like warm elements like that for us that we needed to make sure we're in there.
There's another part. I don't want to give the movie away either, but it's like when it shows how the black woman wasn't under control.
Yeah.
So she couldn't be brainwashed?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was powerful, too. I got a
how she switched it up on him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got a whole thesis I could write about Daytona.
But also the strength of her and her character.
And then when
she was leading the charge.
That's right. Y'all don't want to do it? I'll go do it myself.
That's
you know
right. Yes. Okay, y'all not gonna man up. The steps I'm gonna take. Yes.
And then even in that moment when the Keith Sutherland character was like, "Oh, we don't even care about you." Like, you know what I mean? Like, basically, that's what he basically told her.
Yes.
But
you're a regular old. Yeah.
Yes. But she was somebody to them that was. I don't want to say. I was about to say worthy of rescue, but I don't want to give the movie away.
I'm gonna see the movie this weekend, guys. I was out of town. I was out of town. I was car show. I was in Atlanta for car show. I wasn't here. So I'm back this week. I'm watching this week.
You went for a fun ride, bro.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. So 15 Oscar nominations, 3 wins. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Is there any project that you thought should have got a win?
Judas and the Black Messiah.
we got Song and Daniel won for that one. I felt like we were definitely right there.
The best picture.
We were right there in contention. There were a lot of great movies that year, but I feel like we were close. There was definitely a sense from members of the Academy that we were very much in the mix on that one, and we're incredibly proud of that film. Honestly, I'll say we're more proud of the fact that Chairman Fred Hampton, Jr. and Mother Akua and so many other members of the Black Panther Party, that they still love the film and were supportive of it, and how it's really been able to educate our community about this revolutionary. So Oscar nominations were great, but that was the thing that was the most rewarding of that. In terms of someone that I felt like got robbed, man, there's a few, but I got to tell you, man, I felt like Jamie Foxx, man, in Just Mercy, man. It was really, he did his thing, just like he did.
I've seen all these movies. I didn't even know those were macro movies. Even Raising Dion at the TV show.
We were one of the executive producers. We co-financed the film. We weren't creatively involved in that project. That was other great producers, but that one we were more financiers. And Jamie Foxx did his thing in the movie. He was incredible.
I mean, when is Jamie Foxx not up for some type of Oscar? You know what I mean? Like every role he does, even in Nick on Tyrone, like
knock on wood, man. Yeah. I feel like his performance is absolutely worthy of real conversation, man. He is an extraordinary actor, and it was just so incredible to work with. So much fun, but he brought it, man. He is truly like a gifted man.
I always wonder why like Macro doesn't collaborate with like Tyler Perry and everything that he's doing, because it just seemed like it would make so much sense.
Well, man, Tyler was one of the artists moguls that I was fortunate and blessed to work with. I was his main agent for over 10 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, back at William Morris and WME, and he had a vision for how he was going to take these amazing characters in this world that he built out from the theater circuit and bring it into film and TV. And as a young agent, I was right there as part of the forefront of it, alongside of his lawyers, of structuring those deals at Lionsgate and the 1090 shows. And then clearly saw when someone who has a vision and a team behind them, to also support his vision, in addition to the hard work, literally tenacious hard work, the fact that he bet on himself, that he invested in himself, and you look at the empire that he's built. So I have tremendous respect for him. And so obviously, even when I went to leave WME and I said, hey, I'm going to go do my thing, he was just like, you're going to wish you had done this 5 years earlier, because it's going to be incredible. And I had to say that although we haven't worked on a project together or found that thing, there's absolutely nothing but respect and love, and I'm sure at some point we'll find something. But clearly there's nothing but respect.
Right. Yeah. There you have it. Charles D. King. Appreciate you for doing it. Yeah, thank you so much, brother.
This is a great conversation. Thank you, brother.
It's Charles King. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host Willie D with us. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Lil Meech.
Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Yes. Now, Lil Meech was trending yesterday for a couple of reasons. Well, one, it seems like his relationship with Summer Walker, they're saying, is over. She posted something on social media. It's just crazy how an nigga will really try to pursue the F out of you for 2 years, make you meet the whole family, want to be around you and your kids all day, pay bills, just to embarrass you to the world, laughing my ass off. I don't understand men, but I'm going to give it to God. Well, yesterday, a Ring camera footage surfaced of Little Meech entering and exiting a home with another woman. And he actually spoke about it after the footage came out.
Damn, I can't help my cousin bring the bags in the house. We went to the grocery store, man.
Problem was not too many people seeing grocery bags. So people started making memes and they started adding grocery bags. They started adding shopping carts and all those other things.
I saw groceries.
You saw groceries?
I saw groceries. Didn't Janelle Monáe say? What did not Janelle Monáe? What Janae Eichel said? I ate the booty like groceries.
Oh, you see the groceries?
Yeah, I seen some groceries going in that damn apartment. Okay.
The crazy thing is
I'm married, but I ain't blind.
How could you have a neighbor that releases the Ring footage of your apartment?
Is that legal?
I don't know.
Yeah,
First of all, I want to welcome Lil Meech to Houston.
Oh, he was in Houston? That was Houston?
He was in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, man, that's a major invasion of privacy.
Hell yeah.
And it should be illegal. If it's not illegal, it should be illegal. It should be a crime. And I'll tell you straight up, bro, if my neighbor tried to play me like that, the moment I see him, it's on sight.
You're putting hands and feet on him.
What if it's a woman?
The moment I see her, it's on sight.
Could you stop, Willie D? Knock it off.
I'm just saying it's on sight. I ain't say what's on sight. I'm just saying it's on sight. It's on sight. Man, it's a violation.
It is a
you
violation.
Can't do that. That's not right.
The man was helping a woman with her groceries. That's right.
You know, if a crime was committed, I
That's
can understand
he
releasing something like that. But just be spying on your neighbors like that and then just putting it out there. First of all, whoever did that, I'm just going to straight up say, that was some hoe stuff.
Well, they're a groupie. Because if it wasn't Lil Meech, they wouldn't even care. If it wasn't somebody, it wasn't a celebrity, they wouldn't even care. Correct. You know, it's the fact that they caught a celebrity on their Ring camera. And they wanted to send that out to the blogs or whoever else, or post it on their own social media. That's got to be some type of invasion of privacy. I don't know what happened, man. I just know black men don't cheat. And, you know, if the man said he was helping somebody with their groceries, why couldn't that man be helping somebody with their groceries?
You stupid. Now we got to move on to Carlos King. Carlos King was interviewing Nene Leakes, and we're talking about her, you know, on Real Housewives of Atlanta and how she felt. Nene said that she could have been bigger than Kim Kardashian.
You think you should be bigger than Kim Kardashian?
Absolutely. If not bigger, right there with her. I feel like they pushed Kim and they didn't push me. Kim came on after me, and they opened up every door and every opportunity for her, even putting us together at times and making her, you know, much more bigger than me. They pushed Kim to the front and pushed me to the back. And I don't think that was by chance. I think that was the way they wanted it to be. I just think that they made her more successful, and she was able to get opportunities and walk through doors that they just did not want me to walk through.
How do we feel about conversations like that? Because I just be feeling like what's for a person is for a person. I understand that there's machines that can push things, but you can push some things sometime, and that don't mean the consumer is going to gravitate towards said thing. It's something about the Kardashians that people gravitate towards, and they've been gravitating towards it for years. Nene had a great run and great moment too.
I just think, you know, with Kim, I just think it was the perfect storm. With the way that everything folded out, you know, Paris Hilton was her best friend at the time, and Paris Hilton was in front of the lights, and Kim was her side, you know, her best friend at the time. Then the Ray J tape came out, and at that time Ray J was growing in his fame, and it was perfect. Then she was married Chris Humphries, and he was playing for an NBA team.
I know you ain't giving Chris Humphries no damn credit.
You're right. Strike that one from the record. What's the other baller's name?
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush at the time. He was one of the biggest players in the league at that time. Like, I just think it was a perfect storm for Kim.
Maybe it's strength in numbers. Maybe if it was a bunch of leaks. Seriously, maybe if it was a bunch, like she had a whole team with her. She had her sisters.
That's true too.
You know what I mean? She had her mom.
That's
like
true
they
too.
had a whole squad. Maybe it's strength in numbers.
But I do think they did Nene dirty as far as a reality show. I think they should have pushed them on. Now she also talks about one of our homies, Claudia Jordan, and talks about that term which Nene made real famous up here talking Starless.
Claudia Jordan.
Starless.
Who won between you and Claudia in Puerto Rico?
I'm always the winner, and so I obviously won. But I will give Claudia this, although she said the most nastiest things about me, and she's been holding on to a grudge for 100,000 years. I'm going to give her this. I've read many of girls, honey, and I've been on this show with many girls. I would have to say that she was probably my number one battle. She was definitely right up there to battle with. Yeah, I don't think that there's not been one other girl that could probably battle the way she did, because I took her through it, and I feel like she took me through it. And so I feel like we gave each other a run.
Yeah, I think they did. And I will say one thing about our homie Claudia Jordan. She don't back down to nobody. So salute to Nene Leakes and Claudia Jordan.
We ain't got none of the smoke. You ain't played none of the smoke that they talking about?
No, we ain't got time unless you want to be late for your donkey.
I never even heard the smoke. I don't know.
Oh, all right, well, that is your rumor report. Well, who you giving that donkey to?
Man, 4 after the hour, man. What is going on in the world? We got white people screaming racism against other white people. This is crazy this morning. We're going to talk about it.
Is that possible?
I don't know, but we're going to discuss.
All right, we'll get to it next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Our audible pick of the day is Snoop Dogg's From the Streets to the Suites. Here's Snoop's journey from the streets of Long Beach to hip-hop legend. Listen when you sign up for a free trial at audible.com/Snoop.
I was donkey up the day. Made it. Damn, the hee-haw again.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
I ain't trying to be donkey today no more.
They should be embarrassed by what they already did. I'm not making these people do these things.
Called Donkey of the Day, and it really caught me off guard. Damn, Charlamagne, who got the Donkey of the Day today?
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, August 2nd goes to Michael Sack. Michael Sack is a white police officer in St. Louis who has filed a racial discrimination lawsuit against the city and 2 black city officials claiming he was excluded from a promotion to become police chief. Now, this is something you don't hear too often. A white man screaming racism because he didn't get a position he wanted. We've seen this a billion times from black people and others, okay? And usually they are correct. Systemic racism is something that exists in every industry in America. We know this. That's why we have laws to prevent this kind of discrimination from happening. What is it? The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission? Under the laws enforced by the EEOC, it is illegal to discriminate against someone, applicant or employee, because of that person's race, color, religion, sex, including gender identity, sexual orientation, pregnancy, national origin, age, 40 or older, disability, or genetic information. I'm saying all that to say there are rules in place to keep people from being discriminated against and to keep that discrimination from impacting their employment. Not saying it always works, but the laws are there. And when you feel there is discrimination, you can sue. That's what's happening here with Michael Sack. He's suing, like I said, for racial discrimination because he said he was excluded from a promotion of police chief. But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. The position ended up going to another white man. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Let's go to NBC5 on your side for the report, please.
Tonight, the city of St. Louis faces a lawsuit over its selection of a new police chief. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Sack alleges he was not promoted because he's white. Sack, who served as interim chief, was considered a frontrunner in the initial search. But Mayor Tashara Jones started a second nationwide search seeking more diversity in candidates. The city ended up hiring Chief Robert Tracy, a white man. Sack's lawsuit claims the mayor made that choice only after 2 black finalists dropped out and to cover up for not giving the job to him. The mayor's office says it cannot comment on pending litigation.
What is going on in America? You have a white cop suing the city and 2 black officials claiming he didn't get a job because of racism. Yet another white cop got the job. You got Lizzo being sued for weight shaming. What's next? Is Laverne Cox about to be accused of transphobia? I mean, this is ridiculous. Michael Sack says in the lawsuit his race was a determining factor, motivating factor, or played a part in the city's decision not to promote him. I'm so confused here. I'm not white and there is no white people in the room. Well, I guess Nick. Yeah, Nick is... you're white, right, Nick? Yes, spicy white. There's levels to whiteness, all right? Is there? I'm not talking about levels in regards to class. I'm talking about strictly race. Is there levels to the white race? Is there white and off-white, or is that just Virgil's clothing line? Because I don't understand this. Is Michael Sack transracial? Does he identify as something other than white? I don't understand. How is he seeking financial compensation for loss in wages and benefits for racial discrimination when another white man got the job? Now, Michael is saying that him and another white were the only two people who met the roles and qualifications and who had passed the written test, but the mayor, Tashara Jones, told them that she would not pick either one of them because she only had 2 white male candidates to choose from, and St. Louis is more diverse than white males. That's what Michael's saying in the lawsuit. The lawsuit also says that the city wanted a black commissioner but had to settle for Robert Tracy, the other white candidate, because there was no other black candidate to select from because one of the finalists who was black withdrew his application and another declined the city's offer. Hey, if that's true, that's life. But it still doesn't negate the fact that a white man got the job. I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary, but if you're telling me that you didn't get a job because you're white, but another white person did indeed get the job, then I'm going to ask you to drink this ginger ale and these crackers because you must have a fever and a stomach ache. All right? There's no way you could possibly be feeling well. Here's the thing. White people, stop. You don't have to colonize everything, okay? It's always the unpigmented population trying to take everything the marginalized has and make it their own. They trying to take hip-hop. They tried taking Tiger Woods, but they gave him back. And trust me, he didn't want to leave. And now they trying to take racial discrimination from us? No. The unmelanated gall of Michael Sack. A white man losing his job to another white man isn't racism. It's called America. Okay? Racism, is if the boss didn't hire him because he don't want no chalky colored cracker working in this building. But that wasn't the case. He didn't lose the job because he was white. He lost the job because they found a better white. See, if America was just about the best person winning, then it would be all good. Okay, if it was about all things created equal and the most qualified person succeeding and things like race and gender and sexuality didn't help or hinder, it would be fine. But that fairness only exists when you're dealing with men who look like the founding fathers of this country. So sorry, Michael, if you just weren't the white person. No, I mean wait, maybe I do mean white. Oh, okay. Sorry, Michael. You just weren't the right white man for the job. Please let Chelsea Handler give Michael Sack the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
Come on, Michael. Relax.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, thank you for that donkey today, sir. Mm-hmm. When we come back, well, first, BT, we'll see how tomorrow. Peace to BT.
Peace to BT.
Peace, BT.
I think I know what you're talking about, man.
What?
I think I know what's on your mind. I saw y'all contemplating it.
Well, what's that?
After we talked about it.
What's that?
The Little Meat situation.
Play our Breakfast Club theme music, please. The court music.
Breakfast Club court.
Now, Lil Meech, he cleared up something that happened the other day. Now, he was out in Houston, and a young lady needed some help packing her groceries and getting her groceries to the house. So, Lil Meech did what any brother out there would do, what our parents have taught us to do. If you see somebody in distress,
you help them out.
Especially a woman in distress. What do? You
help them out.
Now, Willie D, you are from the South.
You from Houston.
You from Houston.
Southern hospitality, Willie D.
Don't mess with Texas.
Now, you see a woman out there that's struggling with her groceries. Are you going to help her carry them groceries to the house?
Depends on how fine she is.
Oh, Lord, Willie, you ain't... Willie.
800-585-1051. Well,
that's not what I was talking about.
Lil Meech talks about what happened.
Talking about good old Southern hospitality.
Damn, I can't help my cousin bring the bags in the house.
Oh, ain't that his cousin?
We went to the grocery store, man.
Man, why are y'all bugging out on the internet, man? This man was helping his cousin.
Now check this out.
Bring her groceries into her apartment. I looked at the videotape. He was only there for like 10 minutes.
17 minutes.
17 minutes. There you go.
Yeah.
I tried to shave off 7.
So a good friend of mine sent me this text message.
Okay.
And it's important. That's why it's important to have women input on things like this.
Yeah.
She said, what if the chick told the neighbor
to hit the ring camera
to release the ring?
That's
camera
right. Hey,
footage.
I got Little Meech helping me with my groceries. Little Meech was helping me with my groceries. Hit the ring camera.
Yeah,
you right.
For a come up,
boy, I tell you.
Well, let's talk about it. 800-585-1051.
I think we just solved the case.
Is Little Meech wrong? He was just trying to do his southerly hospitality
Willie,
duties.
I think your homegirl right, Willie.
Yeah, your homegirl too.
Yeah,
Teslin.
Oh,
Teslin the beast with it, man.
Okay, I ain't even think about that. So, okay, we figured it out. Lil Meech was just helping this woman with her groceries, being a good Samaritan, and somebody she called her neighbor to hit the Ring camera just so she can have a little come up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow, do y'all believe Lil Meech? That is the question.
Whoa.
Lil Meech was trying to do
Whoa.
the right thing out there.
Whoa.
Trying to put out a little Southern hospitality to
Whoa.
help a young lady. You guys have been saying men are not helping people, not opening doors, not carrying the groceries. So this brother helped him carry the groceries, and y'all got him under the bus. Let's talk about it when we
And I
come
heard
back.
there wasn't no elevator in that building. Heard it was 6 flights of stairs that man had to climb up.
God bless Lil Meech.
Come on, man.
800-585-1051. Let's discuss this. The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest host, Willie D, joining us. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking Little Meech, all right? Play the Breakfast Club court theme, please. Now, Little Meech was charged with, we'll say, cheating, allegedly. Now,
Black men don't cheat.
Little Meech, there's video of him helping a young lady who looked like she was distressed. It looked like she just went grocery shopping, and allegedly her building didn't have an elevator, so Meech was just helping her carry these bags up the stairs.
I heard that she didn't have no elevator. There was 7 flights of stairs. Lil Meech being a good Samaritan, Lil Meech decided to help this young lady with her groceries.
That's right.
Her neighbor caught them on the Ring camera.
Correct.
Now, Willie D brought up a fantastic point.
What
would you say your homegirl said, Willie D?
What if the girl employed the neighbor to record herself, and then she had an opportunity to release it to the public?
I think that's clearly what happened.
And blow her name up.
I think that's clearly what happened. She saw Little Meech, took advantage of Little Meech's kindness, him being a great Samaritan. Little Meech helped her with the groceries. She told her neighbor to hit the Ring camera, sent it out to all the blogs. Little Meech is innocent.
But not only that, let's think about it. Little Meech was there for 17 minutes,
17
right?
minutes.
How many?
17.
17 minutes. Now, he went in, went out. Now, on his way out, we seen the girl again on the way out. She
didn't look disheveled at all.
She wasn't disheveled. She wasn't wearing the T-shirt.
That's right.
She was wearing the same. Her hair was good.
Up. That's right.
That's right.
Okay. Just devil's advocate. It's possible, very possible, for them to walk into that room, walk into that house, and he get behind her.
Black men don't cheat. That didn't happen.
I'm just saying. That
didn't happen.
This is
her clothes would be disheveled, though.
No, not necessarily. I I am the cleanup man, so not necessarily. It just depends on who it is.
Right.
It depends on who she's doing it with.
Right.
I'm not saying that he did something.
Black men
but
don't
I'm saying
cheat.
that these type of things, that is a scenario where something like this could happen.
Now Taylor, our producer, she was in the other room, but she can hear us.
Right.
And all I heard over the microphone was, "I hate y'all," and I don't understand. Where that came from. So Taylor's here because you got 3 grown men in here,
right,
talking about a situation that clearly needs a woman's perspective. Taylor, why did you say you hate us?
Because clearly, I didn't even think about it. What you said, like he was helping with some groceries. I saw some groceries too.
Good
that he was
Samaritan.
going in. Yeah.
But Taylor, if you look at the young lady's hands, it looked like they were putting things in the refrigerator. Like, when you get groceries, I don't know.
Taylor, if you saw him helping with groceries, what's the problem?
I didn't see no bags of groceries. That's what I'm saying.
You talking about groceries? Oh, you talking about booty?
Yeah.
He wasn't. Come on, stop. Get your mind out the gutter, Taylor.
It only takes 17 minutes. That's how long it was, right?
What? Okay. What are you accusing this man? Are you saying this man is guilty?
I'm saying I ride with Summer Walker. That's what I'm saying.
Man, Taylor been riding on us, man. For the last 48 hours. I think Taylor need counseling.
Let's go to the phone lines. Carry on.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Did you see that video of Lil Meech being a
good
great
Samaritan?
guy, a great Samaritan, helping that young lady with her groceries?
And do you stop it? He's guilty.
Guilty of what? Being a good Samaritan? I agree.
No, you stop Charlamagne. That man guilty for helping himself to the goodies. That's what he was helping.
Black men don't cheat.
Yes, they do. Look in that man's eyes. You can see the devil coming out of his eyes.
I saw a man trying to enjoy a blunt, but he just finished walking up 17 flights of
He was
stairs.
tired.
He just walked up.
No, he was helping himself to the booty. He had the right to get a fat at him. He's guilty. He's guilty as doo-doo.
Thank you.
You can't prove none of this.
Sarah.
Yes.
Hey, good morning. You seen that video of Lil Meech being a great Samaritan helping somebody?
Just being a good civilian.
First of all this crap that's going down with Little Meech, even Little Meech, is ridiculous. How you gonna come walk like that?
What did he do? What did he do? All he did was help a young lady with her groceries.
First of all, everybody keeps talking about what groceries that I didn't see not damn groceries. The only thing I saw was that bag of trash that he should have took out.
He did
before coming in the house.
The video
only
cut off.
groceries I saw him doing was following that ass inside the house.
The video cut off right before he took the trash out. And see, what happened was he had already went up 17 flights of stairs.
He tired.
He took the trash out, and then when he was walking back out, the girl was like, "Hey, you should come get some Gatorade before you make that trek down these 17 flights of stairs again." And that's what he went back in the house for.
The only bag that I saw he had was in that liquor bag that was probably filled with yak, maybe some candy bars, some condoms he had in his hand, or something he had in his hand. That's the only thing. No, sir. The only groceries that was going in the house was that ass he was following.
Sarah, as a
Y'all
kid,
internet detectives or something else.
you never seen Sarah, your dad help a lady with bags at the grocery store before?
My father? No. The only person that that he would help anything would be my mother. My mother would have been all over that ass.
Hey, how we know that wasn't an old lady, dude?
Yeah, that could have been an old lady. We couldn't really tell.
How we know that wasn't just a young-looking old lady? She might have been 67 years old for all we know. In Houston, they age very well, right, Willie?
Absolutely.
Sir, she looked like she had on a full Sheen outfit. I don't know what 70-year-old or 50-year-old wears Sheen or Fashion Nova.
Patty LaBelle.
I'm sorry.
Patty LaBelle, yo, stop it, man. 800-585-1051. We'll talk a Little Meech this morning. Now, there was a video of Little Meech going viral yesterday, and people are saying he cheated. But the brother said, I was just helping out with the groceries. And from the video, it looks like he was helping with the groceries.
That's right.
I mean, Charlamagne said allegedly there was no elevator, so they had to walk up 6-7 flights.
I heard it was 17, actually.
17
I
flights.
said 6 or 7, but I heard it was actually 16 or 17.
So the fact that the brother helped put all the groceries away, got a little Gatorade, and then left.
And I want to explain something real quick because I know people are saying, what damn apartment complex has 17 floors with no elevator? So I just want to say that perhaps the elevator was broken.
It was broken. Yeah, it was broken.
And there is such a thing as innocent until proven guilty. So we reserve the right to give Lil Meech the benefit of doubt. Brother, more powerful to you. More power. Stay strong, brother.
Stay strong, you good Samaritan.
Stay strong, brother.
You know what
Black
I'm saying?
man don't cheat.
There you go. 800-585-1051. We'll take some more calls when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Little Meech. There was a video that went viral yesterday of him at somebody's house, and he responded with this. So we're asking 800-585-1051. Little Meech seems like he was being a good Samaritan. I mean, people are saying all the time that, they don't see kids and people helping old women and people at grocery stores anymore. They don't see
Lil
people
Meech from the South, man. Lil Meech understands Southern hospitality. Lil Meech understands being a good Samaritan. Black men don't cheat. BMF, black men faithful. Like Lil Meech wasn't doing nothing but what he was supposed to be doing, which is helping that young lady, old lady, because I think she was older. But she just looked young. I think she was 67, actually. He was just helping her with her groceries.
Hello, who's this?
Bianca.
Hey, Bianca. Good morning.
Good morning.
You seen that video of Lil Meech helping that young lady with her groceries?
Yeah, Let's go with it. Listen, and I'm from Detroit, so I know a lie when I...
No, you don't.
That boy's lying.
Why he lying? Tell me why he lying.
Okay, so he was carrying the groceries?
Yeah, he was carrying groceries.
In what bag?
I couldn't really see because the ring camera was high and his hands was down, so I couldn't really see what he had in his hand.
Nothing, no bag.
You know,
listen, and I love the fact that y'all want to take up for a black man, but knock it off. He got caught.
Listen,
and I know he's talking about that girl booty anyway.
Listen, y'all worrying about the wrong thing, which y'all should be worrying about. Is the invasion of privacy that happened with that woman who recorded that ring camera.
Exactly.
Y'all, that's the actual crime. He can't commit no crime.
And what if it was an old lady? Would they be still having this type of energy?
She was old, Willie?
No, I'm talking about old lady, like 90.
I think she's about 67.
Kasha!
Yeah.
You seen that video of Lil Meech trying to be a great Samaritan helping that lady with her groceries?
I didn't see that nonsense.
Why is that nonsense? So you don't think people should help women with their groceries?
Man, come on. Now you're reaching because he was not helping nobody with no groceries. Where was the bag? What kind of bag did he sell, man?
You know, I'm gonna tell you something. We couldn't see the bags because he had his hands down and the camera was cut off, so you could only see him from the waist up. So I couldn't see.
Like a black man making excuses.
I couldn't see what he had in his hands, and I can tell you how I know he had something in his hands because he had a blunt in his mouth and he never reached for that blunt. Couldn't reach for that blunt because he had bags in his hand, man.
Kev, he had a whole box in his arm. Looked like he was carrying a box of milk or something. But he was only in there for 17 minutes. So I don't even think he wasn't there to do anything really. But helping with some groceries, I didn't see no groceries either. Let's just keep it real. That black man was cheating.
No, he was not, because black men don't cheat. What is up with y'all?
I don't know. Hello, who's this?
Hey, my name is Keisha.
Hey, Keisha, good morning. We're talking about the video of Lil Meech being a great Samaritan, helping this young woman with her groceries. I'm sure that there's been times when you needed help for groceries and didn't have help, and he could have been there to help you as well.
Oh, no, I have a husband, but I've experienced something similar. I feel like it was very inappropriate. If it's just a cousin, why can't someone meet her?
Well, first of all, you from the 843. I can hear it in your voice. What you
Sure,
mean?
I know it.
You say you experienced something similar. What happened?
Well, my husband, he is friends with the young lady. I said to him, but I'm not too comfortable with their friendship, but he still hasn't allowed me to meet the girl.
He still has what with the girl?
I still have not met the young lady.
Well, we already know that your husband is innocent because he's from the low country, and black men definitely don't cheat from the low country. Okay?
That's a lie.
We do not cheat, man.
Yes, you do. I just think it's inappropriate, and I think the girl, she was trying to catch him, so.
I do agree that someone should meet the cousin. You know what I'm saying? But you can't meet all your cousins. She in Houston. That's his cousin from Houston.
Hello, who's this?
It's your boy Yagi.
Yagi, good morning, man. You see Lil Meech just trying to be a great Samaritan. I'm sure that might have happened with you before. You just trying to be nice, right?
Yeah, man. 17 minutes, you had to be taking groceries in there. Because, you know, if you were doing anything, you'll be between 5 and 10 minutes. 17 minutes, you would have to put the groceries up.
Now, hold on now. See, I don't like that because, see, what somebody going to do is the math. So they're going to say between 5 and 10 minutes. That means it took you about 3 minutes to get undressed, 5 to 10 minutes to handle your business, then 3 minutes to get dressed again. That's about 17 minutes, bro. I don't like that math. I don't like that math.
10 minutes. You got to be in and out there, man. He just put groceries up.
I can't even believe we're having this conversation. Black men don't cheat. You're right. That man was definitely helping putting the groceries up.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Alice.
Hey, Ala, you seen that video of Lil Meech, man, just trying to help that woman with her groceries, man? It's such a great Samaritan, don't you agree?
That's what he was doing?
Yes.
Nah, he wrong.
Wrong for what? Do y'all know what the definition of hospitality is? The friendly and generous reception and entertainment of guests, visitors, or strangers. Lil Meech is renowned for his hospitality, and now y'all judging that man for it. I don't like this.
Guilty and embarrassing.
I don't like how they doing Lil Meech like that. I think it's a smear campaign against Lil Meech. First they were saying that he ain't shower. Then they said something else before. Now they saying this. The brother just trying to do good out here, and y'all messing with him.
And I don't like the cast of Power and the other shows clowning Lil Meech for this. Because my brothers, this could be any of us at any given moment. You see this man clearly got set up. This man was being a good Samaritan, walked up 17 flights of stairs. You couldn't see the bags in his hand because the ring camera was cut off from the waist down. Clearly, whoever he was with called somebody and said, hey, record Lil Meech helping me with my groceries. This man was set up. That could be any of y'all at any given time. I don't think y'all should be making jokes about this. They really trying to stop the black men don't cheat movement.
And close it. What you think, Willie D?
I think that the man is innocent until proven guilty. We should all reserve judgment. Unless we see something different.
Black men don't cheat?
That's right.
Black men don't cheat.
They don't even understand that when you say black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat.
Right.
Put that in quote.
And black men don't cheat.
Okay. I'm with you. All right, when we come back, we got to talk LeBron James in his school. We'll discuss when we come back as the Breakfast Club.
Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
All right, well, we're going to start off with Gervonta Davis. Now, yesterday, Gervonta Davis was talking. He was talking about if he would stop Terrence Crawford, what would happen?
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terrence Crawford look?
147? I tapped that trend. You know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he
ain't
is.
got no chance.
I already know he is.
You said no chance.
I got round 5.
Got round 6.
We'll go with that. I'm gonna put my money around 6.
What do you think?
Gervonta Tank at 147. I mean, Tank and
Crawford
at 147. I'll take Bud in that. I like Tank a lot though.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Man, based off what I saw Saturday night, that's why. Okay? What you talking about? Why? Like, Terrence Crawford unlocked the level that, none of us have seen. And we all know Terrence Crawford is a beast. We know that. With 40-0, how many knockouts? Like 32 or something like that. Like, we know he's a beast. But on Saturday night, we saw him unlock another level. So he has another level. And the level I saw Saturday, I don't see nobody beating Terrence Crawford at 147.
Willie D, what you think?
I concur. Yeah, what Terrence Crawford did, man, it was magical, and it was reminiscent of the golden era of boxing. You had the Hearns and the Sugar Ray Leonards and the Hagglers and the Roberto Durans and the Wilfred Benitez's. Man, that was like, hey, man. That was on that type of level.
That's right.
Is that a fight y'all would want to see, though?
We haven't seen that in a while.
Is that a fight y'all would want to see?
I would absolutely like to see that.
Tank and Bud would be great at 147. But like I said, after what I saw Saturday night, I don't see nobody beating Terrence Crawford at 147. If he can get to that, if he can go to that level in a fight, no.
Now let's talk about LeBron James. His I Promise school. They're saying that 8th graders failed to pass the state math test. It was reportedly last year that, of course, the school is in Akron, Ohio, hadn't passed the math portion of their state proficiency exam in 3 years.
Yikes.
Now, Stephanie Davis, the new principal, said this: one of the things I'm most excited about coming into the I Promise school is the optimism and energy around getting our students to a level of achievement we know they're capable of. At this recent board meeting, our preliminary OST data was shared, but it's important to note that proficiency is based on master and grade level standards. Our students have not yet met the grade level mastery mark, but they are demonstrating growth based on iReady scores. Of our incoming 8th graders, 32% met their annual typical growth in reading, while 11% met their stretch goal for the year. Now, I will say this. I don't think it's just a I Promise school thing. I think it's a education thing. You also got to think of the last 3 years, a lot of these kids haven't been in school. Most of it because of COVID, because of the pandemic. A lot of these kids were being taught over computers, and coming back has made it very difficult. If you have kids, you know how difficult it's been because, when I say we, I mean parents, had to be the teachers. And for a lot of us, it was difficult. It was difficult for me to help my kids with their homework. I'm sure it was difficult for you, Charlamagne. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's great, first of all, that LeBron James can, make financial contributions like that to our communities. And, the schools now need to double down on education. Having said that, I find it very hard to believe not one single kid in the 8th grade passed the state math exam. I don't care where you go, there's always going to be one kid that just is an overachiever. That's always going to be that. So I find that hard to believe. In experimental schools like I Promise, the kids are made to actually fail. In many of these type of schools, they're actually made to fail so that they can get state and federal funding. If the kids don't fail, then the money don't trickle down to the school districts, and they can't create jobs. That's a big deal, and most people don't want to have that discussion, but that's a real thing. I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening there, but it happens more than you can imagine.
Yeah, I'm not an educator. I would have to bring in an educator to have this conversation, but it sounds to me like somebody clearly wasn't focused on academics.
Right, and then I'm also wondering how many students are actually in the school. You know what I mean? Because we can say all the 8th graders, but how many 8th grade students were there? You know what I mean? Because this is a small school. It's not a huge school, what you would think of. And I think I'm reading now, one report says, in the 8th grade, I'm trying to see, but I think in the full school, it's 500 students, and that's from 3 to 7, I think, or 3 to 9. I'm not sure, but I'm just curious to how many students are actually in that school.
I don't know, but either way, if all your 8th grade students fail in math, somebody's not focused on academics. So to me, that lies squarely at the feet of the educators.
Absolutely. And this is over 3 years.
Yeah, over 3 years.
This is over 3 years. But let's make sure that we also include the parents, because everything starts at home, and no matter what the school is doing, the parents have the most access and authority over the children. And if the parents are not on board, it is extremely difficult. Having said that, it is anytime you can have an adult that can step in and help out kids and kids, there's a place that kids can go to, like I Promise, and there's a safe space that they can go to and have these experiences and be able to learn. You're in a place where people really care about you. That's important, because as we know, like, one adult could change the trajectory of a child's life. That happened for me with my homeroom teacher, Miss Emmett Oliver. I mean, she literally saved my life. And this can happen when you get good educators. And I do believe that there are some good educators there, but you're going up against a system.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. I got to remind you guys, tonight at 7, our iHeartRadio hip hop and R&B stations are going to be streaming Living Black. All right. Now, Living Black is hosted by our very own Just Hilarious.
Dropping the clues bombs for Just Hilarious, damn it.
With performances by Usher, Miguel, Glorilla, Coco Jones, and more. Appearances by LL Cool J, Lola Brooke, Warren G, Roddy Ricch, of course, The Breakfast Club. And you're definitely going to want to check it out, all right? So, again, that's tonight. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. And you don't want to miss it. Again, it's hosted by Just Hilarious. So you can tune into any of our iHeartRadio hip hop and R&B stations tonight at 7 p.m. local time. And it's going to be streaming on the iHeartRadio YouTube and Facebook channels. All right? People's Choice Mix is up next. Let's go.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Are you someone who knows you don't have to sacrifice comfort for quality? Someone who lives large in life and in the bedroom? Then live large and now thinner with new Magnum Raw condoms, the thinnest Magnum condom, available where condoms are sold. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Again, I want to salute Lincoln Tech and iHeartRadio. I'm doing my last car show of the year. I'm doing it a 2-day show in Jersey. It's August 26th, August 27th. This is actually the first time in 3 years that I'm back in the tri-state. Usually it was Atlantic City, which is a 2-hour drive, or it's been in Memphis and Houston, Atlanta, Detroit, Miami. But this year we're actually back in the city. I'm so excited. So we got to do a 2-day show. So one day it's all about the newer cars. So your Magnums, your Chargers, your Ferraris, your Lambos, Durangos, any car that you got that's new that you did, whatever it is. You put your TVs, you put fish tank, whatever you did to your car to show it off. That's going to be one day. And then the Sunday is all about the old school cars, your 80s and 90s, your Chevelles, your Impalas and all that. So it's going to be 2 family fun days. There's going to be rides both days and so many things to do. So if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. And since it's back to school, we're going to be giving away backpacks to kids out there. So if your kids need a backpack, maybe you can't afford it, whatever it may be, we're going to hold you down. And kids 5 and under are free. All right. So that's the 26th and 27th of August, a 2-day show. You could get a 2-day pass. And I can't wait to see you. Of course, we're going to start announcing some of the celebrity cars that we're going to have shortly. But I can't wait to see you guys, and you can get your tickets now. And I also got to remind you guys, tonight, iHeartRadio Living Black. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. It's hosted by Jess Hilarious, our good sister. How's Jess doing?
What you mean, how Jess doing?
She ain't been up here in a while. She ain't cursed us out in a couple of days.
Yeah, on purpose, just working.
Okay.
Just busy.
No.
You know what I mean? Just got a lot going on. Like tonight, hosting the Living Black block party.
That's right.
But you can always subscribe to her podcast, the Carefully Reckless podcast, on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network.
That's right. And performances by Usher, Miguel, Glorilla, Coco Jones, and more. So definitely tune in tonight and check out Jess. And you can tune in on iHeartRadio's hip hop and R&B stations at 7 or the iHeartRadio YouTube and Facebook channels. How you feeling, man? Thank you for hanging with us for the last 2 days, brother.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the invitation.
No, thank you.
It's been fun.
You going back to Houston tonight, Willie? What you got going on this week?
I'll go back to Houston tomorrow.
Okay.
Let me ask you, Willie. So since you said that you wouldn't give women flowers on the first date, have women been hitting you upset about it? No.
They want to understand. They've called and they're asking for clarity.
They want clarity.
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, man, I want to be clear. I absolutely love the women. I mean, and I really do respect women. But I do believe that there is a such thing as being too nice too soon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I have my reservations and trepidation about what dude did with those flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, bro. You don't do all of that on the first date. Now, some women, you're cool. They're going to be cool with that. But then there's going to be a certain segment of women that are not. And I'm not willing to take that type of chance when I first meet a woman.
Right.
Because the last thing you want to do is spook a woman. Just like you can spook a woman with your conversation, when you first meet her, you can spook her with your acts of forgiveness, of giving. You know.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay.
I'm not with that.
All right. Well, when we come back, we got a positive notice to Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne, you got some positivity for the people?
I do, man. And I wish some of y'all fools would understand what I'm about to say, but you don't and won't. But I'm going to tell you anyway, because maybe one day you will learn. But understand that nothing that's for you will require you to act out of character to get it. Absolutely nothing. If you got to act out of character to get something, it ain't worth it.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?